Hi, this is Glenn Haynes Golf. We would all like to play our second shots from the fairway. Sometimes that's not always the case. We have to cope with some different lies. So you've got two choices. You can lament about your misfortune and your bad lie, or you can learn how to cope with those shots and get back in play. Here's a couple of videos to help you with those different lies that you're going to encounter in the rough. And really it's not too difficult. It's just a case of a little bit of a different setup. So have a look at these. With all the growth that we got this summer, there's still plenty of rough around, and it's still causing some problems for the amateur members. Occasionally we get a ball like this sitting down in the grass, and we need to approach this shot a little differently than we might a shot from the fairway. Now it's important for us to realise a couple of things. One, we want to reduce the amount of grass that we get trapped between the club and ball. And two, the ball's going to roll when it hits the surface. So choose a club with plenty of loft. That's going to help us to get out of these sorts of lies. Remember, the ball's going to run anyway. I've got a 9-iron here. And to reduce the amount of grass between club and ball, we want to get a little steeper. We want to hit down on that ball a little more than normal, so we can get it to jump out of the grass. So I'm going to set the ball back in my stance, shaft forward a little bit, and I'm going to aim a little left because of that ball position. It tends to just squirt right slightly. Now it's landed short of the green, but then it's run on, as you'd expect out of this sort of lie. Don't try to land on the green because it's just going to run over the back. So a little bit different setup, slightly back in the stance, hit down on a little bit more, and use plenty of loft to get out of these lies. Now this is another lie that you might get in the rough. Got a little bit luckier here, but there's some grass behind the ball, so it's sitting okay. But this is known as a flyer lie. A little bit of grass behind the ball is actually, the ball's going to go further than we would normally expect from the fairway. So I have a 9-iron distance away here, but now I've chosen the pitching wedge because I'm expecting it to go a little further, and it will release a little bit upon hitting the ground. So normal setup position. I have my ball position for my wedge just slightly ahead of center. Normal swing. It's pretty easy to get good contact because the ball's sitting up a little bit. And the ball's really flown there. It's gone further than I would normally hit a wedge. So that's a flyer lie. So a little bit of grass between club and ball. And I can see here my grooves have filled up with a little bit of that grass. So the ball's going to jump a little bit further. So if the ball's sitting right down, it's not going to go as far, but it will roll. But if it's sitting like that flyer-like, a bit furry, bit of grass behind the ball, expect it to go even further than you'd normally hit from the fairway. Well, there you have it. A couple of different lies you're going to come across in the rough. And really, with a little bit of a different setup and a different thought process, you can get that ball back in play and even make a par or birdie. This is Glenn Haynes Golf, helping you to learn something new every time you play.